Good evening, everyone on YouTube, and getting everything else kind of logged in here on Facebook to do Facebook Live as well. Looks like we're there on the extreme keys, right? All right. All right. Going live. All right, live on Facebook now. I just want to update everyone on the thunderstorms. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning for this storm over here near Lucy's Branch Marina, near Rogersville and Coxie. We've been tracking this on social media for about an hour or so. It's really been intense. Most of the storms have been what we call pulse-type storms, but a few of them, this one here, is pretty intense. It's maintained itself. So let's go ahead and get into this storm here and talk about what we can expect. I think it is beginning to weaken just a little bit. Let's see, no comments yet. All right, so as we get in here, we're starting to see a drop in what we call the VIL value. So eventually it's going to run. I don't think it's going to be severe for this entire warning. In the meantime, you got very heavy rain, a lot of lightning in Athens. The storm, again, it's so lightning intense over here in Rogersville. I'm going to turn it off. Focus on the wind speeds here. Again, the wind is spreading out a little bit. You can see it moving into Coxie. The wind values are lower, so we're probably looking at 40 to 50 mile per hour winds coming into Coxie. They moved right over Lucy's Branch about 5 minutes ago. I'm still waiting to see if we get any damaging wind reports out of here. There's no tornado threat, even though we got a lot of low clouds out there today. There's no need to worry about that. Big storm indicator, probably going to have some street flooding with that. These storms are kind of unique, and they just kind of sprawl out. They don't have any, they don't maintain their exact configuration, so to speak, like we would see with other multi-cell thunderstorms or even supercell storms. So they're kind of, they've got different updrafts and downdrafts, and one of them is going to collapses and the other part of the storm fires up. So at some point, I think we're going to end up with a lot of rain here as all these boundaries collide, somewhere between Cortland, Decatur, and Athens, because you've got storms all moving towards each other. You've got this one that's developed along an old boundary from this storm that was over Madison, so that's developed there. You've got a new storm kind of developing on the side of this outflow boundary from the storm that was near Hartselle earlier. And again, you've got this other storm that's eventually going to collide. So basically, it's like you'd throw three rocks, big rocks in the water, and all those rings that go out, they're all eventually going to collide. And that was probably going to lead to some fairly significant rainfall. Rainfall rates pretty high, about 3 inches per hour. Crazy wind in Anderson, big branches down. How big diameter would you say those are, Skylar? Again, we're getting that's up towards Anderson. So yeah, that's right up here. So again, that's on the northern side. So again, we're going to see a lot of wind here, and in fact, the wind is picking up even more near Coxie. Gonna go ahead and get that. So we got 60, 61 mile per hour winds there. Yeah, very heavy rain, frequent lightning. Talking to the Weather Service here. All right, so again, that was north of this. So I can only imagine there's probably trees falling, at least tree branches and limbs falling with this storm here right along Highway 72. As this moves down New Cut Road. And this area, I'm going to go ahead and track this main area of wind right in here. It's tracking northeast at about, I'd put it 25, maybe higher than that. Let me go ahead and adjust that, because I think they got the speed at around 30 miles an hour. I'll put it at least 30. I'll put it at 32, because I think that's about how fast this has been going. So that's going to be in the harvest area around 6:15, north side of Athens. Since it doesn't directly go through Athens, let me go ahead and put this, expand that a little bit more. So there we get Athens, Elkmont. So all these areas here. But this probably will weaken some as it runs into this thunderstorm that's over Athens right now. So out towards Canebrake, 556, Elkmont, 555, Athens, 551, Sparkman High around 618, Meridianville, 633, Hazel Green, if it continues, at 635. But we just don't know how far this is going to maintain its intensity. So again, that's the worst storm we've had all day as far as the wind velocity goes. And this is more than just like a microburst type. And it's got another area of wind behind it as well. It's moving right over Wheeler Lake. Go ahead and put the radar back on here. Elsewhere, Priceville, again, Decatur, this storm's about ready to just rain itself out. Yeah, they said the highest wind signature went over Anderson. I think it actually went over Coxey. Unless there's another view from, no. Yeah, so again, Anderson, there's that, yeah, there we go. Here's that strong wind gust that came through there. I'll go ahead and pause that. Take that back in time. Kind of see that area of wind. See that right there? Boom. That was right at 526. And that's moving on to Lester. Again, that's getting pretty far from the radar site. But then we've got even higher wind here moving into Coxey. Let's see what that looks like from High Top. See how High Top picked up that wind. Yeah, it didn't have it as pronounced up there. But definitely really high wind here as you get towards Baker Hill Road. That's what basically very close to New Cut Road. Right north of 7 Mile Post Road. Again, these areas are so familiar from tracking tornadoes across these areas over the years. So again, that's some extreme wind right there, probably 60 miles per hour. Let's see what else we got. Any more comments? It's been wild here on Bethel Road. Location rain has stopped, but lightning, thunder still going on. Crazy rain and wind just blew through downtown Decatur. 4-inch diameter. Thanks, Skylar. All right, so we've got a focused area of really high wind, and they've extended, but probably based on that report, Weather Service in Nashville has extended this warning up towards Elkton, south of Pulaski. Again, the radar not picking the wind that just went through Anderson up as well. It's possible it was a downburst as well. The highest wind is really focused along Highway 72. This is going to move pretty much on the northwest side of Athens, out Highway 99, West Market Street. So you've got Sewell Road, West Elm Street, and again, where you make your way out of town on Highway 99, northwest of Athens. This is going to hit pretty hard. We've got Hobbs Road, Tillman Mill Road, Smith Gover Road, New Cut Road. Again, New Cut Road straight west to east outside of town. Blackburn Road, Myers Road. You get a lot of homes up in this area here. Let's see. I think we got a mobile home park here off Linda Corey Road. So again, this wind, it's probably got a really dark cloud coming in too. Let's see what's going on. with the shape of this storm. Yeah, very high wind, probably 60 miles per hour with that. And the wind's moving more to the east in that storm. So again, if you live north on the northwest side of Athens, this is going to hit pretty hard. What is in the box? Oh, that's the polygon. That's the warning, the yellow thing flashing. Power's flickering in the hole. Let me see if I got any more other Facebook Lives where I got questions. Again, I think I cross-post all these. So I'll check my phone. And again, I'm not able to monitor. Let's see. Okay, I think I might just be, let's see if I'm on WFF. Yeah, I think I am. All right. Let's check my comments on the WFF page. Very strong wind, small hail, 72 just before the Elk River. Thanks, David Gooch. Super windy. Yeah, lightning is really bad. Huge branches down in the yard, just north of Tennessee River, Center Star. Huge branches down. All right, thanks. No power, Center Star. Okay. Thanks, Heather. Let me get back to this report. County Road 411. All right. Okay, so I'm monitoring both Facebook pages here. Watching from Killen, lost power in Tharptown. All right. So we're starting to see this wind kind of expand out a little bit. I think that the leading edge catching up with it. So again, this is moving out here, State Highway 99, northwest of Athens, aka West Market Street. The wind's velocity's down a little bit here. So I think we're probably going to see this interaction. This is going to be Tillman Mill Road, Bill Black Road, and Linda Corey Road as that moves east. Now east of Coxey, let's check the lightning. See, the wind is outracing the lightning. So we're probably going to get this to be what we call outflow dominated as these storms collide. So you got, I think this storm here in Athens, it's weakening now, but it kind of acts like a roadblock and it's going to slow this down. So at some point, you've got the wind coming out of this storm going this way, and then you've got the arcing wind here that's racing this way. So you're probably going to end up with this storm weakening a bit. It's kind of counteract that wind, but you're going to get new development probably right over that area where it's all converging. Okay. No other reports coming in as of right now. And the hail potential is starting to drop. So I think this storm is about to collapse. I think it has peaked. But man, there's a lot of rain. Probably looking at street flooding there, indicator. Okay. I forgot I'm monitoring 2 Facebook pages, and I got to go to YouTube, see what they got on YouTube right now too. I'll check my live there. Switch account. View our channel. It takes so many clicks to get there. All right, we got live here. So, don't see any comments here on YouTube. There's only 39 people watching, so again, not missing anything there. No power, 7 Mile, New Cut. Power's been out an hour in Danville. Yeah, you guys got hit with a lot of lightning over there too. The light green area. I don't think we'll see much of anything serious overnight tonight. There's going to be some strong gusty winds with a few of those storms. Okay, so let's get in here. The light green area, I'm not sure what they're talking about. So I'm going to turn the lightning off. The lightning is pretty clear, evident, the white area, but the wind continues to race east. You can just tell by how fast this front edge is moving into the west side of Athens right now. So probably down to maybe 50-mile-per-hour winds here on West Elm Street. That and the intersection of West Market. Thanks, Jimmy. And the hail threat starting to drop as well. I just had another kind of a peak here. So again, probably seeing some pea-size hail just to the east of the Reed area. Snake Road, Ripley Road. Again, Ripley Road kind of snakes, basically. So you got Snake Road, which is pretty straight, and then Ripley Road that's more crooked. But this is the area that may have some hail, and the storm's pulsing up. It's increasing in intensity right over you. Look at all that lightning. So again, it's just very, very intense. This area is going to move into Athens, and hopefully it weakens some. But again, you just had one storm coming from the south. The weather's just going crazy. Yeah, Coxie, I think you're all right. It's pretty much east of you now. Well, it's right on top of you, just on the east side. Again, it all depends on where you live in Coxie. The worst of it, let me turn this lightning off. Wow. So, again, this is going to be down Snake Road and Ripley Road. Right over Ripley Road and Shaw Road is where you're right underneath the main core updraft of that storm. So let's take a look at the velocity. So we've got a storm that's cycling through, and then it's throwing out this main area of wind right here on the west side of Athens. All right. Pretty rough in Clements. Yeah, wild lightning there in Coxie. You can post it, Ben. You can post it in here so I can see it, or you can post it. Yeah, I just post it here, those pictures, because I'm not going to see anything unless it's in the comments. Thank you. Oh, it's out delivering the mail. Power's out again for an hour there. So we don't have a tornado threat with this, in case anyone's wondering. But we got a lot of wind there on the west side of Athens, that is. Decatur, you had a big downburst come through. I could see that on the radar. Big downburst. That storm's pretty much over. Let's take a look at actual rainfall. Still raining in Decatur, but in the meantime, this whole line's starting to kind of come together. Looks like the rain's coming out of the ground, yeah. It is heavy, heavy rain. Again, be careful. I mean, if you happen to be riding with pea-sized hail in Rogersville, thanks. just got a tree down here. This is going to be large limbs down the roadway near County Road 70, County Road 165, southeast Lauderdale County. Yeah, that's a big limb. That's probably about 10 inches into. I'm looking at something you guys can't see, but big limb. Probably a big 60-mile-per-hour gust. Athens, 5-inch tree limbs down, Spring Lake Drive. Yep, so we're getting reports. Yeah, the thing about it is, if this was spring, and you'd look at some of these VIL values, we call them, and I'll show you the hail potential. And if it was this high, you'd be looking at really large hail. But the thing is, the atmosphere is a lot taller. There's more room for these hailstones to melt as they fall through this warm layer of air. But you're probably looking at pea to dime size hail with this storm, but the wind is the main, and the lightning is the main threat. You can see the highest wind now, probably down to 50, maybe a gust to 60 on the northwest side of Athens right now. Let's see. So again, that severe thunderstorm warning will probably be let go for northern Lawrence County here pretty soon because that storm's kind of on the way out. And I really think this storm's probably going to weaken before it makes it into East Limestone and the Harvest area. But there's still very heavy rain. Yeah, it was like 91 degrees today out west where these storms fired up. Elkmont, wind and rain. Again, I'm going through my messages as fast as I can. Yeah. Yeah, so out in Harvest, just heavy rainfall. This storm should weaken as it goes through Athens because it's got a lot of rain-cooled air ahead of it because it was pouring down rain earlier in Athens. But yeah, still looking at a lot of rain here. I'm going to look at my cameras here. Huh. I'll go ahead and go through some of these cameras. See if I can find them real quick. And there's the radar. Nothing going on east. You had your big storm in Fort Payne around 4 o'clock, and it's since quieted down. Let's go. Let's go through these cameras here. I don't think these storms will reach Scottsboro, but there's Huntsville, Space and Rocket Center. I'm going to turn this to the north a little bit. And not a whole lot to see. Again, visibility is not going to be the best. Go ahead and switch cameras here, see which one's up next. This is East Limestone. Boy, you can see that pretty wild-looking leading edge of the. It's almost a shelf cloud. Definitely the gust front. They're going to be issuing a new severe thunderstorm warning. Probably going to include other areas of Madison County with this. But yeah, there's East Limestone. That's real gusty wind along that edge. Trying to find Athens. It's quieted down, at least on the south side of town. Getting ready for our newscast, so I'm going to have to shut this stream off. Come on, camera. But yeah, that's a nasty looking cloud there. Again, these look a lot scarier in most cases than they are. But again, here is, I think this is going to be Athens. That's actually Decatur. Let me switch that to the north. I've lost the connection over there. Yeah. Power might be out at our camera location indicator. Let me double check here. See what else I got. There's the radar again. So severe thunderstorm warning is going to be extended probably into Madison County. With this storm that continues, it's gained some momentum. There's the new warning. And a lot of odd shapes. See how that's taken on a different shape here? And I think that's that boundary interaction right along I-65. Let's go back to our cloud over there in East Limestone. In fact, I'll keep this up. I will keep this stream going just so you guys can pass along information. Okay, thanks. North side of Huntsville, we could see this. We'll see. There's East Limestone. Debris on Highway 72, probably tree limbs, things like that. Yeah, that's just an ugly looking cloud there. Again, if this was, say, April. Yeah, I'm ready for this rain to stop myself. So I'll take you back to radar. Stop that. Yes. Yep, got it. Okay, thanks. All right, let's take a look at these winds in here again. Yeah, still some very strong winds on the north side of Athens. All right. Starting our 6 o'clock news. I'm tracking severe thunderstorms moving from Athens into the Harvest-Monrovia area on the north side of Huntsville. Winds could exceed 58 miles per hour with this. A lot of lightning, too. We'll take you on a tour of the radar, tell you what you expect for the rest of the night coming up.
Well, as a big gun bust in East Alabama, what investigators say about the man accused of using a dead person's identity to buy a lot of weapons. And a family steps up to fight over one woman's month-long detention by ICE, how they say she ended up in custody, and what they're doing to try to get her released. Some areas are currently seeing heavy rain this evening. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Nolan Crane in tonight for Liz. Let's go to WAFF 48 Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis with a new severe thunderstorm warning that has just been issued.
Yeah, we've been tracking this storm since the 5 o'clock newscast. Really, it's starting to intensify as it moves east. And we're setting up for a very large area of heavy rainfall in Limestone County if this continues. The main concern outside of its frequent lightning here is the gusty winds. We've had some winds probably approach 60 miles per hour within these storms. We've had some tree branches down, things of that nature, some power outages. Decatur's had power outages from that previous storm there. Some of this is likely lightning induced, but the highest wind right now is just on the north side of Athens. This is moving towards Harvest and Monrovia, so you can expect the possibility of some 45 to perhaps an isolated 60 mile per hour wind gust as this moves to the east. So Harvest around 618, Hazel Green 638, Newmarket 654. Here's a live view from our East Limestone camera. Again, you're going to get a big shelf cloud coming in as well. It looks a lot worse. We don't have tornadoes out there, but we do have high wind, and that's going to be a concern, that and the frequent lightning. I'll give you another update and talk about your forecast, what we can expect overnight coming up.
A Fort Payne family is getting desperate to get their mother out of ICE detention. She was taken into custody while trying to renew the work visa she used for several years. WAFF 48 Savannah Sapp talked to family members and has this story you will only see right here on WAFF 48.
Starting to see the wind die down a little bit. With that, you can see how it's doing what we thought it would do. It's running into this rain-cooled air. So I think the winds are going to be way down once this reaches the Madison County line. But boy, it was pretty intense for a while. Let's see what's happening with this the hail core. It's starting to drop too. So hopefully this storm ahead of it in Athens took the punch out of it. Again, no tornado threat with these. Starting to see in the velocity signature here that interaction between those boundaries. But what's probably going to happen is you're going to get another updraft right through here, and that's going to enhance the rainfall rate. So flooding may become an issue in some of these areas, especially East Limestone. But very, very heavy rain. All right, that wind's dropping, but I'd say it's still around 45, maybe 50. No additional reports coming in. Again, most of this have been tree branches, things like that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and shut the stream down. I'll have a forecast update coming up here on the 6 o'clock news. I don't see this being a prolonged thing as we go into the evening hours.